Then another sector which is very good in India is pharmaceutical sector, particularly in generics. And it is said that as the patents expire, about $80 billion worth of drug market will open for generics. And keeping that in view, in fact, one of our major companies in Bexy, majority share bought by a Japanese company for about $5 billion US. And here again, I see a lot of possibilities for cooperation and collaboration between India and Korea, where we can contribute something to make medicines affordable in Korea. This is again US FDA approved pharmaceutical plants in India, 65, and our companies are exporting to many countries. And in fact, on 23rd of March, we will have some experts from India, and they will be working here. They will be talking to many of you for opportunities. Partnership in science and technology, we have very good technology for launch of satellites, etc. And we would very much like that we have a share of your market in launch of satellites, because we had done that in 1999, but not after that. And a very good future-oriented decision of President Yi's visit has been to create a fund for research and development in science and technology of $10 million US to start with $5 million on each side, to do research in new areas of energy, new materials, and new frontier areas of science. Of course, the very major development this year has been this comprehensive economic partnership agreement, which will deepen cooperation in, of course, trade, information technology, manufacturing, and services sector, and will also facilitate movement of professionals. Because let us be honest, in manufactured goods you have an advantage. Korean companies are excellent. But in services we have some advantages, some good qualifications. So we did not just want an FTA limited to goods. We wanted a comprehensive economic partnership agreement so that the goods and services, there is a good balance. Then SEPA has already become operational. It is on the websites, and all the information, what are the advantages and what is the reduction in tariffs is available. And we hope that SEPA will encourage Korean companies to set up manufacturing in India, and import raw materials, etc. will become cheaper. What India additionally has is our huge manpower, trained manpower, skilled manpower, very dedicated manpower. And they are a resource which are available to you, Korean companies. Already R&D laboratories are in India. Samsung is more than 1,000, I think 2,000-3,000 scientists working in Bangalore. Hyundai Motors has opened a research facility in Hyderabad. Then Indian engineers and IT experts are already working in Korea in different companies. More than 1,000 are here for research and designing or as IT experts. And another new area is that now, as more and more Korean companies are winning huge contracts in the Middle East, you can employ Indian engineers, Indian technicians, Indian managers, Indian accountants, Indian workers, because they are very familiar of working in the Middle East. They have been working there for decades, and they will be a very good resource for you. And SEPA has also opened new doors. That's 163 categories of professionals from India can come here on contract work. So that is also something which you can look at to get skilled manpower. And these are actually from 163 we have just selected some professions. This is an indicative list of professions from experts of these professions can come to India, and visa will come from India to Korea or go from Korea to India, and visa will be given for contract work. This is the list, indicative list. This is on the website. Korean companies, of course, have been extremely successful in India, and because your companies were smart, they reached there in the mid 90s. And now they are extremely well established and making good money. And I'm very happy there are some Indian companies also in South Korea. Of course, we have Tata Devu, more than $100 million investment in commercial trucks. And it is not very well known that Novelis Korea, in fact, has investment from an Indian company because it came from Holland. So the investment is not shown as investment from India. And Novelis Korea has about $400 million investment from an Indian company called Aditya Birla. And these are our software companies, and they are already established here, and they are ready and willing to work with you to make our IT skills available to Korean companies. And I am very happy that as the relations are growing, as the economic links are growing, just in January, many of you and executives got together and they formed an Indian Chamber of Commerce in Korea, and you can visit their website, and I will invite you to join that chamber and contribute to friendship and economic links between India and Korea. One thing which we had noticed was that while of course your top companies are present in India in a very visible way and a big way, your SMEs have not been very proactive in going there. And this is an initiative supported by Kotra and Korea Land Corporation, that in one of our free economic zones, to create an exclusive zone of almost 800 acres for Korean SMEs. So this will have a Korean microclimate with your Korean restaurants and schools, and I will again invite you to look at this, because land is being procured and the township is being developed. Already Kotra has had some meetings, and I am told about 70 Korean companies have expressed interest in establishing their manufacturing there. So it is worth looking at if you to establish some manufacturing facility in India to service the Indian market and also to export, because that is the model which needs to be followed. See, in India we have a huge deficit as far as the export import of goods are concerned. The deficit is almost every year is almost of $100 billion US. After US, that is the biggest deficit of any country in trade in goods. But we are able to meet that, and our balance of payments are okay, because we have our software exports of almost $50 billion US per year, and about $50 billion US are the repatriation of funds by Indians who work abroad in the Middle East, in the United States, all over the globe. There are 20 million people of Indian origin living and working. So that's how we are able to make our balance of payments condition okay. But as we move forward, the model to be followed, which would be very workable and very profitable both for Korean companies and India as a country, would be if you establish your manufacturing facility in India, export some components, etc. from here, and tap the Indian market, growing Indian market, 1.1 billion people, 1.2 billion people, and also for exports. I was just told Samsung is establishing a new factory in Chennai for exports to South Asia and to Middle East. And that is a model which will be very attractive in long term and in financial terms for all of you. And for SMEs, we are ready to create this kind of free economic zones suitable for Korean temperament and Korean specificities. So the model which I will commend and recommend and to all of you is to gradually work towards a new brand which will be made in India in partnership with Korea. Thank you very much.